and in cases considered untreatable by others. Cleveland Clinic, Florida. Every life deserves world-class care.
Well, we all have our days where we get called out. Today is my day. Gina sent in this email about the story. We're talking about all the batshit crazy stuff been happening at South Florida airports the last couple of days. Yesterday was the melee that went down at Fort Lauderdale because of Spirit Airlines and the pilots not flying, and some lady got all crazy, and then boom. It was nuts. They're showing it on ABC this morning. It was nuts exactly what was going on. I believe it was CBS this morning as well had it on. Gina says, Kevin needs to check his sources before spreading news.
Fake news.
I love the KVJ show, but today I was extremely upset with a completely wrong story about United Airlines Miami flight. I am a flight attendant, and my husband is a pilot, both for major airlines, and lately our daily jobs have become a very hostile environment due to a lot of what y'all discussed. People are so quick and willing to try to take our jobs and livelihoods away for just 15 minutes of fame. And y'all are not helping with pushing this fake news. All it took was 15 minutes of a few Google searches to find out that the only one article written about a ridiculous account of a 5-hour sit on a plane, which I can promise you didn't happen with no water and bathrooms, because I can promise you that the crew on board would have never sat in that environment themselves. Not to mention that each plane is catered with enough water, soda, juices, and cookies for some sort of delay kit for times when there are such delays, and we are required by law to open them before 2 hours delayed on the ground. Also, don't you think that if approximately 200 people were truly stuck in that situation, wouldn't have blown up on the internet? But no, the only story about this is a reposted article written by one loudmouth political correspondent. I'm sorry, I'm just so upset with everyone acting fools in the airplane and the airports. This industry has always been stressful, more so lately, but stories like this make people more on edge to fly than normal. And this drama won't calm down while wrong information keeps getting shared. I'm not saying nothing happened on the plane. All I'm saying is that it couldn't have been that bad for that long. Yes, there are videos from one source with a few choice words yelled, but I can just see how when every little thing on a plane is blown up and viral nowadays, and every news source picks up these stories and run with them, there is only one story of this that happened 2 days ago. If there's truly a medical situation, they would have been at the gate quick. Okay, I'm done. Ran over. Still love KVJ.
Okay, now I want to get on them for their edit your email down.
The source is somebody called the Gateway Pundit, and it's a guy that is a political writer and blogger that was on the plane, and he gave his count. He did give timestamps, had photos, had videos from on the plane, was stating that he was on Flight 1614, United Flight, hasn't taken off for an hour and a half, it's 90 degrees, I'm losing it. Then he goes, okay, going on 4 hours, 95 degrees on board Flight 1614. He's got video on there. People are getting restless on the flight, and people are getting upset. So he documents and all that kind of stuff. Now, I don't know. Is it a witch hunt? Is this guy completely inaccurate in his reporting, or what? Is it just that other news sources haven't picked it up yet?
Look, if he's got video and timestamp and his personal account of what happened, I mean, why would we have any reason to think that it wasn't credible?
So I don't know, but I will say it is from one source called the Gateway Pundit. If you want to go check out the story about United Airlines traps passengers on grounded plane in Miami sun for 5 hours, no AC, water, food, toilets, video included. That is his take from May 8th at 5:10 p.m.
You blew it wrong, Stin. You blew it big time.
You blew it saying his name.
I was dropping my 7-Up as
you're dropping it, yeah. Uh-huh.
Well, people are going to get fired up and mad about stuff that matters to them. Mm-hmm. And she's very in that world, so it hit a hot button.
Sure, and I will tell you that I think right now people are, I would hate to be in that industry because people are looking for problems. People more today and just anything, they're looking to be upset, and especially now with the airlines. They're looking and they're waiting and they got their phones and they're bored. They're already crotchety because going to the airport is not an easy experience when it comes to parking, lugging your bags, dealing with the lines, going through TSA, trying to deal with your tickets, now get on the plane.
Add a kid to that, and it's just chaos.
I mean, there's no secret. I mean, traveling, airfare, it's a nightmare. It is really tough. I don't know what you do to make it easier. I mean, it's just the way it is. I mean, just be blessed that we can get from one place to the other so quickly. But, yeah, it's something that's out there. So, I mean, there is only one source on that. And as of yet, I don't know if it's been circulating around. I haven't been checking after getting the story today, but that is it. And he's sticking by his story, so I don't know. But yeah, it is only one source, the Gateway Pundit, if you want to go check it out. Also, I got called out by Jared. He said, Kevin, please stop saying, love the show.
You can't win them all, man. I've learned that.
I hear you, brother. Just do what you can.
People are just gonna be dicks.
Mm-hmm.
Not saying
No.
everyone's dicks.
No, I do. When I listen back to the show, I'm like, yeah, I do say and ah a lot. But, when I'm especially watching KVJ TV, you'll notice I'm trying to get a music bed ready, or I'm dealing with the computer, or I'm doing something else while I'm trying to talk.
We're all guilty of crutch words. If you're trying to fill space, and I don't know about y'all, but my mind will go blank sometimes. And your crutch words when you go into panic mode and you need to fill that space.
Well, and it's also, too, sometimes what it is, when you've got a show and you got other people on it, it's almost kind of like my verbal placeholder. It's like, hold on, guys, I got to do something over here mentally. So I'm kind of like I'm kind of like blocking the aisle, because that's one thing that happens too. If you're like getting ready to wrap something up, it lets Virginia and Jason know. And it's an annoying word, and I hate having to do it. I hate having to hit all these, fucking buttons I got to deal with. But it's what you got to do. But sometimes when you leave the aisle open, then it goes, and next thing you know, it's like, oh gosh, I really need to get a break. And now
we will derail it quick.
Oh,
well, it's just,
we will not shut down a segment. We will repeat ourselves 2 7 times.
I don't know where you're going with this conversation, but Jaybird. So
here's the thing, Virginia, about Kevin.
It can't be like, no.
Kevin's trying to wrap shit up.
He's trying to wrap it up and go a totally different direction.
Well, because we're not thinking about time. We're just merely thinking about trying to entertain people.
Yeah.
You're doing math and time shit over there.
So when you hear the and trust me, when I listen back to the show, it annoys me. I'm just like, oh gosh, yeah. And maybe in a different place, different time, different scenario, we'll be in a situation where I don't hit all the buttons and adjust everything and don't have to and ah so much.
I got to be very conscious to not say, like, if I'm struggling, I don't want to turn into a 12-year-old girl like, or a Bieber where I'm saying, like, I got to be conscious of that, because if I get lazy, I'd rather stutter and fuck shit up than to overly say like constantly. Ugh. I'll hear audio back sometimes like, oh, Jason, you're such a dick.
Like, oh my gosh.
Like, oh my God, Kevin, I was like at this Bigfoot store, like, holy shit.
Like, are those vagina pants?
Yeah.
Did someone give you a pair of vagina pants?
Thank you to whoever sent these, but I think they are vagina pants. Either vagina or kiwi.
They're supposed to be kiwi, but kiwis look like vaginas.
Out of the two, I think you know which one I'm into.
The LuLaRoe, everybody is doing this now with these soft leggings, and everybody knows somebody who's selling them. So they sent some to Jaybird and Kevin. And
thank you.
that's a beautiful gift. But they look like vaginas.
We're very pro-vagina on this program.
Amen, brother. Got this email from Keith. Said, I propose in response to the lady that called out the guy who was annoyed with the noisy neighbor kids that arguments that include what if be invalidated/ignored.
I agree.
I agree,
what
too.
if is bullshit.
Yeah, well, he was just saying, he's like, my neighbor kids were out in the backyard. They're making a ton of noise. And he said, how is a kid any different than like a barking dog that is out there making a ton of noise all day long? You would say something eventually if the neighbor always had a barking dog. Can I not say something about the kids? And then she had called in and said, well, what if the kid had autism? My kid has autism. And I know that a lot of times there's screaming and yelling and things like that happen because of it.
It's the world that she's in. So I think people, when they're in a world, they think everything is that way.
Yeah. And when you hear something, you internalize it and think that that's what the argument is. He said, obviously, what if is appropriate in many other scenarios, but to argue a point and to be outraged simply obfuscates the topic and turns it into a boondoggle.
It does.
Boondoggle.
But you got to understand, in that moment, we couldn't come down on her. You
No,
know,
you're not going to.
You
No.
can't ever say anything because, I mean, she's going through freaking hell. I mean, I can't imagine how much more difficult it is to raise a child with autism. That is a tough thing for a parent to have to do. And I never want to come down on somebody for being able to vent and have a place.
But listening to, because I was actually on the phone when that call was going on. I'm thinking, oh my gosh, we don't even know the facts on that. I had the same feeling. I think some of the people were, I get where she was coming from, but it was a little misdirected.
I think she only wanted a platform to let other people know, not in this case, that this is what happens with kids with autism. So when you see that happening, just maybe ask the question, be like,
What
hey,
if?
could the kid possibly have autism?
Right.
Before I start raining down my fury on the parents, because I'm sure she's dealt with a lot of shit from people, and she said, hey, look, I'm sorry, my kid has autism. I wish I could do something more with this.
Right.
Just the nature
For
of what he
sure.
has.
I definitely got her point.
Sure. Loho says, here in Tennessee, some places do cook rooster testicles. They're called rooster fries.
What?
I never had them, but my father-in-law says they ain't bad.
Oh yeah, remember the movie with Chevy Chase, Funny Farm?
Yeah.
They had a thing called, I believe they were calling them lamb fries. He's like, those lamb fries are great. What are these things? Sheep balls. And he was eating sheep balls.
Yeah,
the whole
they're great. Yes. That is also coming from a man that has made barbecue from a groundhog and lives in a storage shed on our land. Hashtag God bless me.
Storage shed, huh?
Yeah.
You don't mess with that, man.
That's a different breed.
That's a different breed right there.
Yeah, that's true mountain folk right there.
That is a earth man.
And
Yeah.
they're Earth people are real. There's
No
this
doubt.
video of this guy. He's in court. He's got this long ass beard, and they're
Yeah.
trying to tell him some law. He's like, "You are not the law. I am a man of law. We are all men and women of the humanity of law." Like, he's going through all this shit about how humans are the law and not the police. And,
and then in the end, he was wrong.
I think they let him go. I think he was so fucking out there.
Yeah.
We can't deal with this shit. Oh, you win.
There's a lot of people that are out in different parts, especially kind of like in the Midwest, in the U.S. They're the ones that, have the guns and all that kind of stuff. And yeah, they don't. There's a lot of people really do not like any kind of government interference, telling them what to do, how to live their lives.
Well,
and
if
saying,
they're
look,
not-
there's only one law, and that's God's law, and
If
that's the
you're-
only one I'm going to obey.
If you're not hurting anybody and
Yeah.
you're not trying to swindle the government, you're just trying to be left alone. I get that mindset. You don't
Yeah.
want no one to fuck around with
Big
you.
movement of people are like going, hey, look, like I don't want the government getting into my business. Let me live my life.
If you're living on the up and up and you're making it work, you're like, screw this shit.
Well, a lot of them, they don't like taxes and all that, too, because they're going, it's not benefiting me. I don't use roads. I don't do all that kind of shit. I just stay out in the country.
I
And,
just eat fish. I don't even cook
Right.
them. I just
That's what
fucking
it
catch them
is.
and bite them.
Catch him and eat him.
just leave me alone.
The
yeah.
guy in this
Scales
video,
and all.
he looks like he would catch a fish with his hand and then skin it with his mouth. He was
It's amazing. Yeah. They're out there. Joe Ponton sent us this email. He said, check this bullshit out. I came back to D.C. and returned to my office this morning, and there were signs in some of the bathrooms in my office saying this bathroom is not for pooping.
What?
Apparently, some of the fumes are wafting down the hall and are making people nauseous. Says the company does have some real power shitters and booger pickers with wall stickers. Yeah, I've seen as much. Sick fucks. We've got to make some serious changes in 017. But yeah, I mean, okay, let's argue that. Should some bathrooms not be for pooping?
We have that here. There is a no pooping rule in the old that bathroom where old
Because
boss
our
used to have.
office is right across the hall from it. Yeah, and if somebody goes in there and tears it up.
That's what
I mean,
happened.
imagine if somebody did it 2 or 3 times a day.
The rumor is, and this is from what the intel that me and Denny's have collected.
I need names.
I'm not.
Need
Somebody
names.
went back there and
I need initials.
blew it up back to the point where people were pissed, and a rule came, and they said, like, this is it. This is now law. Nobody can poop, and you can only pee, and that's even kind of looked upon.
Truth or not? I heard it was a sales guy.
Oh, it's that I can confirm 110% true.
Interesting.
He's making deals with the toilet.
Does his first name start with an S?
No, I'm not. Come on. Why you gotta try to get me involved? No. I'm here just to give you.
I want you to finger the pooper. You must finger the pooper.
I finger no poopers.
Yeah, getting too involved at that
But
point.
I will say this: they still work here. Okay, I'm out.
Okay, all right. See, he can't get away. He needs it.
Yeah, he wants to
He
tell you.
wants to finger
he
the
does
pooper.
want to tell
he
you.
just doesn't want to get fingered himself.
I don't wanna get
As
fingered.
the person who fingered the fingerer.
I do want to let it out, but I don't want to. I don't want any of that poop taint on me.
If you get into poop, it will get on you. Trust me.
Give me a cocktail, I'll let you know.
I walked around with poop on my finger for a day and a half the other day. I didn't even realize it. I changed baby Rocco's diaper.
I was going to say.
A day and a half.
I changed baby Rocco's diaper, and there was poop under my fingernail, and I had showered. I didn't even realize it, and then I kept catching a whiff of my finger. I'm like, what is that? Thinking like maybe Jason farted or something. No, it was poop under my fingernail that I didn't even know was there.
Twilight Zone twist. That's not Rocco's poop.
It's pandas. What?
What?
No.
Who's fingering who?
It was Rocco's, we think.
Doug said, my girlfriend and I watched Jaybird and Denny's Celebrity Chef parody video on YouTube last night. We were cuddled up in bed and it had me laughing so hard that I accidentally pushed a fart out. It was right up against my girlfriend's body and she felt it.
Oh.
She wasn't able to hit me because she was laughing too hard at the video. Loved all the outtakes, the insults, little jabs at each other, and Denny's comment, Bert is still a dick at the end.
Bert is still a dick.
Did you check that video out yet?
I did. I loved it.
I want to do that same type of format, but let's do that KVJ style. You go in there and you ask Kevin a question, and he's like, what is that supposed to mean, Kevin? You're all defensive. That could be fun.
I love it.
We love the chemistry between you guys, KVJ Nation. And are you a farter? We all are. Average person farts 14 times a day, but how do you deal with it? 60% of us pass gas at work and don't care if somebody notices. 60%. You will fart and not care.
That seems like a high number to me.
I thought so too. I don't agree with that.
I don't agree with that at all.
I think most people at work, they try to go like in a corner and fart where nobody's sitting. They try to like take the fart away. I don't think most people would just fart full well knowing that the guy in the next cubicle is going to smell it and deal with it.
Or you'll try to mute it and then you hope that it doesn't smell, and it's that horrifying feeling where you're going, oh my gosh, like that really stinks. I hope
accidents happen, but the wild, wild west of everyone just farting down
think so either.
I've never worked at a place like that. Never.
65% of us do it in front of our significant other.
65%.
Which I almost felt like that was low.
Yeah, 65 does seem low. Do you fart in front of Panda?
I try not to. Like accidentally, sometimes I'll like sneeze or laugh. But
like if you have a fart coming up, you'll never go, hey, Panda. Wah.
No.
Does Panda do that for you?
He's a little bit more lax.
A little more relaxed.
Dudes usually
If
are.
we can be honest. Yeah, I would never like fart on purpose on Panda.
I mean, in the Pennington household, if someone had a fart, it was almost like, oh, shh, okay. Who's on deck? Okay, it was a kind of like we were a farty family.
Everybody liked it?
Yeah, we'd laugh at that stuff. Big time.
I think in the I do it with the kids. Oh, it's fun with Rocco because Rocco is now getting into his farts, and he laughs. He goes, "I farted. I farted."
Rocco.
That's awesome. Well, but my family would never take the fart outside though. Mortified. We as a show, we are not farting at all around one another. If it happens, it's very accidental.
I almost farted. What was the thing the other day? I almost farted on something of yours. When you went out of the room, I told Kevin, oh, what was it?
So this is the shit that goes on when I go to the vending machine?
There was such a great fart opportunity, and I missed it. I missed my moment.
Oh, you're farting on stuff, and the person's not there to see it. Now you're just a farting dick.
I was going to do it in front of you, which I've never purposely done.
That would have definitely thrown me a bit.
Yeah, we're all pretty good about not,
being overly too gross.
We don't try to be terrorists.
No, if it happens, it happens. But
let me see here. This is about the painted rocks. Now you guys talked about the rock painting that people are hiding, and then there's a Facebook page in different cities. You can go around and try to find them. My boyfriend's 30-year-old best friend sent him pictures via text of a rock he'd painted with his nieces. And he turned it into a dating rock. And he said, I can't read the top of it, but hashtag date rock. And then put his phone number on there with M30 for male 30. He's looking for love. And I'll put his number up there on KVJ TV because he obviously wants people to find it. So there you go.
Do you call a number of a rock?
I don't know.
For every person that's a murderer, there's 5 people that aren't.
It might be a rape rock.
Rape rock.
It's terrible.
I'd be afraid to call a rock number.
Yeah, I wouldn't imagine it would pan out to things.
I don't know. You never know. I believe you should call that number because not everyone's a killer or a violent. Yeah. We get so jaded. Sometimes people just want to do cool shit.
Well, you get a story out in the news, and you're right, and you hear it, and it sticks in your head. And I mean, still, we don't ever realize how low the numbers are.
Majority,
just happens.
Isn't majority of people somewhat good? Somewhat good?
Yeah,
I don't know.
I think majority of the people are. But what it just takes that one bad experience, and we're all trying to avoid that one bad experience.
Right.
That's how we're living our life, trying to hope that I'm not that one statistic, that minority.
And when you let your guard down, you call one number on a rock, turns out it's a rape rock.
Yeah.
I can't tell you how many times I have gone through this scenario of a murderer breaking into my place and me wrestling with the murderer. Do they have a knife? Do I block the knife? Do I act crazy in front of the murderer and start licking my hand? Do I act like I'm like, yeah, motherfucker, come on and kill me. Come on, let me see that dick. Like, do I turn the game
What's he stabbing you with?
do I turn the game around on him? See what I'm saying?
Let me see that dick.
Someone breaks in all of a sudden, Kev. This guy's got a knife, and he
Well,
thinks,
I wasn't going to rape you, but now you've just made it sound so appealing.
but you're at the point where the guy's like, wait, what?
At that point, it's not even rape. You've asked for it.
But I'm just saying.
I mean, it's just at that point you're just getting
You're just
nailed.
two consenting adults.
Yeah,
you're trying-
you've asked him. You're like, let me see it. Okay.
But you're trying to fuck
And
him
in a
up.
court of law, they'd be going, did you or did you not say, let me see that dick? Yes, I did, Your Honor.
Do you see my strategy here, though?
No.
You break in, you got an axe. I'm gonna kill you. I got all these.
I'm going to kill you. Oh, wait, now I'll rape you and kill you.
I got these torturous games. Oh, I love torture. Let me see that dick. Let's get into torture, bitch. Like all this stuff. You
Okay.
turn the tables.
Well, now that you mention it,
You take the power away. He's like, fuck this. I gotta go.
I think you
next
just gave
door.
the power to them.
No, I think you completely mind fuck them. That's how. Look, tomato.
You mind fuck them, they ass fuck you.
That's not how I want it to go down.
Well, unfortunately, that's what you just let it into.
Just my own.
All right.
I just spit on you. I'm sorry.
Hadn't even thought about raping him, but you know what? He is kind of purty.
He did bring it up, and now, yeah, it has been a while. I
Look,
might as well.
Just a theory.
I'm here.
I've worked it all through.
You're hard.
I've worked it all through.
But do you guys ever think about that getting murdered? And is that a common thought that you have?
No, not a common thought, but I do see scenarios where I'm like, okay, I don't like this, and I get myself out. You just don't want to be in.
I think the first part would be right when you see them get in the house. I think that's the most valuable time because they don't really know what they're walking into. You don't know what they are. So I think right when they walk in, I think that's when you got to make your move, right?
That's why I keep a machete right by my bedside.
But a machete to me, I feel like he blocks a machete. Now he's using it on you.
I don't know. I'm going for the gut.
Machetes are, I don't know if they're that effective sometimes.
I'm not going to lift it over my head.
I think machete
No.
would be terrible for. That's a horrible weapon for a murderer. For
Well-
you
well,
against a
for
murderer.
a home invasion, yeah, it's not real effective. I don't know if you remember. I think it was Sean Spring. Who was it? Yeah, it was.
The football player
Yeah, what was his name? I'm drawing a blank. Remember that?
down south.
Yeah, he used to play for the Miami Hurricanes.
Got
and-
robbed.
Yeah, and
Died, right?
I believe he had a machete at his bedside. They came in and they shot him in the leg and they hit the artery and killed him.
Look, I'm no weapon
I'm drawing a
expert.
blank.
I know.
Gun versus machete. I don't know.
Well, that's the big thing. Do you bring a gun into your house? And that's what I have struggled with my whole adult life. And so far, the answer I've come up with is no, I do not bring a gun into my house. I have kids.
Yeah.
Kids like to fuck around and play with your shit and get in your stuff. And I don't want a kid shooting themselves or a friend. It's just not worth it.
And if you've never been robbed or been assaulted by somebody, you think, all right, the stats are low. But you're right. All you need is about one time in your life for it to be that's everyone's a murderer in your eyes.
I've got tasers. I've got pepper spray. I've got machetes. I don't have a gun.
Yeah, and you can argue it either side, and it
Yeah.
just really depends when you don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah, I mean, I think if I had no kids in the house, I would totally be down with the gun. I would totally be okay with going to get a gun and learning how to shoot it and properly learning how to carry it, get a concealed weapons permit, all that. But just the fact that I have kids, I do not want a gun in my house.
Mm-hmm.
It's just another thing you got to worry about. And I know you can educate the kids, and this is not a gun stance.
It doesn't
at
matter.
all. I think it's great that people have a gun to protect themselves if they're on the up and up. I think that's great. I understand that. But I just know me as a person, I worry a lot. And it's just another thing that would take me away from a peace of mind.
When I was wrestling with it, I did a lot of research and I found this story that this guy put out there. And this was a gun guy who had several guns in the house, kept them locked away under lock and key. He taught his kids to be safe with them, to be fearful of them, to respect them, to not mess with them.
You're going down a very controversial road right now.
I'm just telling you the story that changed my opinion. I don't care what anybody else does. This is what changed my opinion. The guy talks about how, he was maybe 50 or 60 years old and his daughter came to him and told him a story about how when she was 14, she was in a play at her school. And in the play at her school, there was a gun and somebody was supposed to shoot somebody else and they had a prop gun, and in the play it wasn't even a real gun. It wasn't even a blanks sort of situation. It was a prop gun. But she came home one night and she was rehearsing for the play, and she thought in her 14-year-old brain, oh, my dad's got guns. I'll go get one of my dad's guns and rehearse with that. And she accidentally discharged the weapon in their house, shot through the floor of the house under a dresser, and she could have shot herself and killed herself. And he's like, I had taught my kids to respect these guns, to never mess with these guns, to never play around. But I had forgotten about the 14-year-old brain that doesn't think logically, that doesn't work stuff out and think, what if I accidentally shoot myself? I mean, thank goodness she shot through the floor of the house and didn't shoot through herself or a sibling or a friend or something. I was like, But that just did it for me.
And on the other side, someone's going to say, well, that's one story. And,
it is.
And you can say the same thing about a car.
And I never tell anybody who chooses to have a gun in their house with kids they're doing it wrong, because everybody can do it their way. It's your journey. For me, I could not rest knowing there was a gun in the house and kids in the house.
That's still going to fire people up, though. You're just giving your own personal opinion.
I'm just telling you, this is what
opinion,
this is
that
what
was
made
what did it for you.
me
For sure.
decide that. And after the kids are gone, I totally think I'll get a gun. I really do, because I think I would love to learn to shoot. And I would love the power of knowing if an invader comes in my house, I'm going to put 6 bullets in him and it's going to be over. That would make me really sleep well at night.
Yeah.
But the fear with the kids overrides that while they still live at home.
Well, the thing that's tough about it, too, I mean, when you do have the guns, is you got to make sure that you know how to use them properly. You know, my dad sent me this lengthy email the other day, just to let you know, Kev, I pack heat. I always pack heat. A lot of times he carries 2 guns on him.
Wow, I didn't know he was such a Clint Eastwood.
Oh, yeah, my dad, ever since he was a kid, he used to love, when he was a kid, because Westerns were big when he was a kid, and he would practice in the mirror drawing the gun.
Has he ever shot anybody?
No, he's never shot anybody. And, you know, I don't think he ever will. I mean, Logan is a pretty tame town when you take Don Conley out of it.
I don't think bullets would stop
Don's
that.
not coming for Drew.
No.
You shoot Don, and he smiles, the bullets in his teeth.
Yeah, you can't take him down. He's more powerful than a werewolf.
Oh, yeah.
And so, but my dad, he has the 2 guns, and he has them in part of his church. They have a team, they all do, and they all are kind of like wired up together, and they're a security team in case somebody should come in that's weird and gets all squirrely. They got like 5 or 10 guys that carry guns.
Tell me there's practice drills for that, because I would love to see old Drew in one of those
He
practice
does.
drills.
He sent me his every day, like every week, and he shoots like 500 to 1,000 shots. He uses BBs because the ammo's a lot cheaper for a lot of them, but then he'll do live rounds, and he practices. I mean, he's ready. He knows
That's the way you do it.
He knows what his accuracy is. He knows about drawing. He knows everything about it, cleaning the gun, firing the gun. He knows guns inside and out, everything about it. He's got his legal permits for it and all that kind of good stuff, and that's how he handles it. And that's probably a good way to do it, because you think about it, middle of the night, it's dark, you don't know what's going on. A lot of times those things happen too, where sometimes you forget, you're disoriented. Heard that story too. It's a kid that's just coming home, you know, and somebody gets shot because they locked their keys out and they're trying to climb in the window. So there's a lot of different things like that you have to be careful with. And even with a home invasion, you have to realize dark, hard to see, all those kind of things.
Who is
It is
this?
tough. Yeah. It's tough.
But if I know for sure that it is somebody trying to break in and rob me, and I can see for a fact, I would have no problem putting as many bullets as I had in somebody who came in my house.
The way I look at it, if someone's breaking into your house and there's people in there,
That's it.
To me,
It's on.
That's such another level of their balls, showing they're not in their right state of mind. If they got the balls to break into a house where people could potentially be packing heat, they're in there to put more than likely do harm.
Yeah.
If things don't go their way, they're going to hurt you.
Guns are as good as the person whose hand it's in, and that's it. You know, look, I'm not the gun guy. My dad is, and having him around, I'd be like going great, because I'm sure my dad's a great shot.
I'm not the gun guy.
He would be sensible enough at night to make sure he's shooting the right person, so I feel good with him without having a gun.
Definitely not the gun guy. I'm more the bun guy. I like buns.
Yes.
Throw them at people.
So there you go.
Not as good of a weapon.
I think that would weird the guy out, too. A murderer comes in, I start throwing buns at him. He's like, what the hell is this shit?
He'll just have a sandwich while he kills you.
He'll make a sandwich out of my body.
Yeah.
Let me see here. Somebody said, yeah, your only thing with having the knife, taser, pepper spray, all that kind of stuff is you got to be close to somebody to use it.
I know. Show me the weapon that you don't have to be close. The only one is gun.
Or like one of those harpoon things.
I think like the taser will shoot out the prongs, but I mean those you have to be accurate and.
Yeah, imagine you fiddling with
and
the.
You're
fucking...
a little closer, not like a gun. Yeah, my dad can tell you how far. He's got one for short range, one for long range.
Okay.
Depending upon who he's got to shoot.
Look, that's the way you do it. If you're going to have a gun, be like Drew and learn it inside and out.
Yep. He's all ready to go. And the guy I was thinking about, couldn't think of the name. People in the chat room were going, it's Jason Taylor. No, don't kill Jason Taylor. He's gorgeous. Sean Taylor.
Sean
Taylor, yes. He played for the Washington Redskins, was a Miami Hurricane.
Didn't he die from a leg injury?
Yeah, he was shot like in the groin. He had his home in Miami-Dade, and some kids had broken in, and... yeah, I believe he had a machete, but yeah, they had a gun and they shot and hit him there, and he bled out.
Not to say a machete is not horrifying, because if a man with a machete just started sprinting at me as fast as he could, I would probably slip in my own shit, and then he would stab me, because it would just be so overwhelming. I'd be like, oh my God.
And you're stabbed, and then you're in shit. It's just a way to go out.
There's nothing more freaker than someone running full speed with like a machete in the daytime. Because you're thinking, the daytime? I thought we were safe in the daytime. You're breaking the rules, man.
What's going on here? Let me see here. Got this email from Doug. Said, I saw this license plate. It reminded me of when Kevin is out and it's just Virginia, Jason, and Denny's, the VJD show, the venereal disease sounding morning show. Well, it seems like somebody has a construction company that sounds like a venereal disease then. And there is somebody, VJD Construction, on the back of their truck. See him driving there by Woolbright.
That's pretty funny.
It's funny.
Could you imagine if we were in construction?
Nah, I would not be very good. I'm not good at lifting. Planning, or organizing.
Adulting. Construction seems so adult.
It does.
Yeah, it does. Absolutely. And then Caitlin said, hey, I want to wish my husband a happy birthday for all he does for our family. Joe, I don't know what I would do without you. That's from Caleb and Caitlin. So there you go.
That's sweet.
Yeah, I put the picture up. Came out a little bit dark on the printer. So a little bunk. Thought this was kind of interesting. Facebook is now working on a TV service that would rival Netflix, and they say it could launch as soon as next month. Next month.
You knew it was coming.
Yeah.
There's never one big dog that stays around. Someone's got to...
Well, and Facebook is trying to get in everything, and this is kind of what's happening today. And I tell you, our economy and our world is changing. It's a very fascinating time, just how quickly things are changing. And I was reading the strategy on that. Amazon's got their own network, and the reasons why they do this is because the content draws people in to the sites. In fact, I was just doing something last night. I got a Fire Stick going on.
You do? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I got it on one of my TVs, and yeah, you plug in your Amazon with that. But through that whole thing, I can, watch all this entertainment. I can also then order a pizza, get my toilet paper, and all this kind of stuff. It's got the Alexa voice command stuff that is going on with it. And that's really how it's all happening, is we want one thing. You think about why Walmart supercenters were big, because you could go one place and get everything you want. Well, imagine the convenience now of not even leaving your home and you get everything you want, and it's right there. And that's kind of what's going on. And so, people like Facebook, they want people to come there for their entertainment. It draws more people in. And then while you're there, hey, stay and shop. And that's why you're seeing all these kind of experiential type things.
You got Alexa and this Fire Stick. I can't even turn off my fucking ceiling fan. I mean,
I got somebody that comes in and helps me. I'm not very good at it, yeah. They do all the work for me, yeah.
You still can't turn off your ceiling fan?
No, man. It just keeps going and going and going.
Just get an electrician. I'm not good at that either. Bring in somebody that knows how. When you can't, bring in a know-how.
It just sucks. You have to bring somebody in and make it like this big thing to turn off a fan. You know what I mean? It just sucks.
Well, in your defense, there is no light switch for it. It's just on.
There is a light switch for it. It just doesn't work.
Yeah, it's an electrician.
You actually shouldn't ever try to mess with electricity as a guy that doesn't know anything about it, because that's how you can shock the piss out of yourself.
Oh, I've been shocked.
Kill yourself.
I didn't get killed because I'm here, but I've been shocked many a time.
Okay, good. I say there's going to be 20 new full-length shows on this new Facebook network, as well as a number of shorter 5 to 10-minute episodes that will be refreshed daily. I know they're doing like their own morning show kind of like thing, where it's going to be kind of like an upload you can get every single day, kind of like your morning, notes, whatever it is, 10, 15 minutes that, you can get up in the morning, put it on.
Even the local news stations are pretty much, even if they're not on the air, they're on Facebook Live promoting shit during the morning now. And it was never like that.
Yeah, no, it's a different ball game. I mean, probably what's going to happen even for us is just our show will be there. I think what's going to, even happen with like our regular show is somebody's going to get up and, you're not going to have the live streaming concept of it. You're going to pick it up from the beginning and you can fast forward through whatever you want and get to whatever you want or need or something like that.
Maybe skip a couple dirts.
Yeah, or it'll probably even be loaded up separately so you can go right to the dirt. Should that be your thing?
You know what I mean? If you skip the first 2, there's always 8 more you can go and find from that day.
Anything else, Dick?
So Facebook is going to be your brand new network, they're saying here very soon, and it makes sense. And I saw that Warren Buffett, who is considered the oracle of Wall Street and knows everything about stocks, he has gotten rid of all of his stocks for your brick and mortar stores.
Sell.
He's selling them off.
Gotta sell.
He does not believe in 10 years they'll be around.
Sell them off now, V.
Yep.
Look at that. Well, luckily I don't have any stocks to sell.
I'd like to get in the old S market. I'd like to maybe
S market.
Shit market.
Stock market.
You could do that. Yeah.
I'd like to put a couple, I don't get a couple bonds, a couple, fucking gold pieces.
Didn't you order gold one night?
I ordered gold and I never got it. I ordered gold from an infomercial.
Stock market might not be good for you then.
Yeah.
I got my dad involved.
All right, Bud's Chicken and Seafood. Check it out. 7 different locations in Palm Beach County. Go get the bird sauce while you're there.
If you haven't had their chicken tenders dipped in the bird sauce, you really are missing out. It's a beautiful piece of chicken. It looks like a whole piece of chicken. It's not like this processed crap that a lot of these places serve you.
Tomorrow is my birthday. I don't know. Philip wanted to cater some shit. I don't know. I'm just saying.
Wow, that'd be the day to get some free chicken up in here.
Oh, yeah.
We gotta milk that.
All right, I'll work on it.
Thank y'all for tuning in. We will talk to you later. Goodbye.
Cleveland Clinic, Florida provides individualized treatment plans for excellent outcomes of health problems ranging from the most common to the most complex, even in cases considered untreatable by others. Cleveland Clinic, Florida. Every life deserves world-class care.